Welcome back to our channel No Nuggets, a place where you will gain information through nuggets of knowledge. In this video, we dive deep into the world of use case templates and provide you with a comprehensive guide on creating effective use case documentation as a business analyst. We will share practical tips, real-world examples, and expert insights to help you master the art of creating compelling use case documentation. Let's begin our journey. A use case template is a structured format that helps business analysts document the details of a use case in a standardized manner. While there can be variations in the template structure based on organizational preferences, let's look at elements that are commonly included in a use case template. Use case name. This is a concise and descriptive name that identifies the specific use case. Actors. Actors are the individuals or systems that interact with the system being analyzed. They can be users, external systems, or other entities involved in the use case. Description. A brief overview that describes the purpose and goal of the use case. It provides a high-level understanding of the user's intention and the desired outcome. Preconditions. The conditions that must be satisfied before the use case can be initiated. These can include prerequisites, system states, or any specific data requirements. Post-conditions. The expected system state or outcomes after the successful completion of the use case. This describes the changes or results that should be observed. Main flow. The step-by-step sequence of actions that the actors and the system perform to achieve the desired outcome. It includes interactions, decision points, and any necessary validations or inputs. Alternate flows. These represent alternative paths or variations in the main flow, typically due to different scenarios or user choices. They capture exceptions, error handling, and alternative sequences of actions. Exceptions. This section covers potential error conditions, exceptions, or exceptional scenarios that may occur during the execution of the use case. It outlines how these situations should be handled. Assumptions. Any assumptions made during the analysis or documentation of the use case, which can help provide context or clarify specific conditions. Dependencies. Any dependencies on external systems, processes, or data that are required for the successful execution of the use case. Special requirements. This section covers any additional non-functional requirements, such as performance expectations, security considerations, or regulatory compliance. Let's explore few real-world scenarios and we will create use cases using template discussed above. Scenario 1. Create use case to add item to cart for e-commerce platform. Description. The add item to cart use case outlines the steps involved in adding items to the shopping cart within an e-commerce platform. This use case focuses on the interaction between the customer and the system during the shopping process. Let's explore the details of this use case. Possible actors for this use case. Customer. The user who interacts with the e-commerce platform to add items to the shopping cart. E-commerce system. The system responsible for facilitating the shopping experience and managing the shopping cart functionality. Preconditions for this use case. The customer must have an active account and be logged into the e-commerce platform. The customer must have navigated to a product page displaying the item they wish to add to the cart. Let's look at basic flow for this use case. The customer selects the desired item on the product page and chooses the option to add to cart. The e-commerce system verifies the item's availability and checks if the customer is authorized to add items to the cart. If the item is available and the customer is authorized, the system adds the selected item to the customer's shopping cart. The e-commerce system displays a success message or notification to the customer, confirming the addition of the item to the cart. The customer can continue shopping or proceed to the checkout process. Alternative flows for this use case. If the item is out of stock or unavailable, the e-commerce system notifies the customer and prevents adding the item to the cart. If the customer is not logged in or does not have an active account, the e-commerce system prompts them to log in or create an account before adding the item to the cart. In case of any system errors or technical issues during the item addition process, the e-commerce system should handle the error gracefully, displaying an appropriate error message to the customer. Post-conditions for this use case. The item is successfully added to the customer's shopping cart. The e-commerce system updates the cart's contents, including the item details and the total order value. The customer can view and manage the items in their shopping cart until the checkout process is initiated. This detailed use case for the Add Item to Cart feature in an e-commerce platform provides a comprehensive understanding of the steps involved in adding items to the shopping cart. It serves as a reference for business analysts and development teams to ensure the accurate implementation of this essential functionality, enhancing the customer's shopping experience. Scenario 2. Create use case on transfer funds for banking system. Description. The transfer funds use case outlines the steps involved in facilitating the transfer of funds between accounts within a banking system. This use case involves multiple actors, including the customer initiating the transfer and the banking system facilitating the transaction. Let's dive into the details of this use case. Possible actors for this use case. Customer, the user who initiates the transfer of funds. Banking system, the system responsible for processing and facilitating the transfer. Preconditions for this use case. The customer must have a valid and active account with sufficient funds. The customer must be authenticated and authorized to perform fund transfers. The customer must provide accurate recipient account details. Let's look at basic flow for this use case. The customer initiates the transfer funds process through the banking system's user interface. The banking system presents the customer with a transfer form or input fields to specify the transfer details. The customer enters the following information. Source account, selects the account from which funds will be debited. Destination account, specifies the recipient account where funds will be credited. Transfer amount, specifies the amount to be transferred. Remarks, optional, provides any additional notes or reference related to the transfer. The banking system validates the entered information. Checks if the source account is valid, active, and has sufficient funds. Verifies the destination account for its existence and validity. Ensures the transfer amount is within the customer's available balance. If any validation errors occur, the banking system displays appropriate error messages to the customer. If the entered information is valid, the banking system debits the transfer amount from the source account and credits it to the destination account. The banking system updates the account balances and transaction records for both the source and destination accounts. The banking system generates a transaction confirmation number and provides it to the customer for reference. The banking system displays a success message to the customer, confirming the funds transfer. The use case concludes. Alternative flows for this use case. If there are insufficient funds in the source account, the banking system notifies the customer and halts the transfer process. If the destination account provided by the customer is invalid or non-existent, the banking system prompts the customer to provide a valid account. In case of a system or network failure during the transfer process, the banking system should handle the failure gracefully, ensuring data integrity and proper error handling. Post-conditions for this use case. The funds are successfully transferred from the customer's source account to the destination account. The transaction details, including the transfer amount, account balances, and confirmation number, are recorded and stored in the banking system's transaction history. This detailed use case for the transfer funds feature in a banking system provides a clear understanding of the steps involved in initiating and processing fund transfers. It serves as a valuable reference for both business analysts and development teams to ensure the accurate implementation of this critical functionality. Scenario 3. Create use case on search flights for travel booking platform. Description. The search flights use case outlines the steps involved in searching for available flights within a travel booking system. This use case focuses on the interaction between the customer and the system during the flight search process. Let's explore the details of this use case. Possible actors for this use case. Customer, the user who interacts with the travel booking system to search for flights. Travel booking system, the system responsible for facilitating flight searches and providing flight options to the customer. Preconditions for this use case. The customer must have access to the travel booking system's search functionality. The customer must have entered the necessary search criteria, such as the departure and arrival locations, travel dates, and other relevant preferences. Let's look at basic flow for this use case. The customer enters the search criteria, including the departure and arrival locations, travel dates, number of passengers, and any other specific requirements. The travel booking system validates the entered information, ensuring that the required fields are filled and the inputs are within the system's supported parameters. The travel booking system retrieves flight information from its database or connects to external flight data sources. The system filters and sorts the available flights based on the search criteria, such as departure time, price, or airline preference. The travel booking system presents the customer with a list of flight options that match the search criteria, including relevant details like flight numbers, departure and arrival times, duration, and prices. The customer can review the flight options and select a preferred flight. The travel booking system updates the selected flight's availability status to prevent double bookings. The system provides the customer with additional details about the selected flight, such as baggage allowance, seat selection options, and any associated terms and conditions. The customer can proceed to book the selected flight or refine the search criteria to explore other options. Alternative flows for this use case. If the entered search criteria do not yield any matching flights, the travel booking system notifies the customer and suggests adjusting the search parameters. In case of any technical issues or errors during the flight search process, the system should handle the error gracefully, displaying an appropriate error message to the customer. Post conditions for this use case. The travel booking system displays a list of flight options that match the customer's search criteria. The selected flight is marked as unavailable for other customers to avoid overbooking. The customer can proceed to book the selected flight or modify the search criteria to continue exploring flight options. This detailed use case for the search flights feature in a travel booking system provides a thorough understanding of the steps involved in searching for flights. It serves as a reference for business analysts and development teams to ensure the accurate implementation of this crucial functionality, facilitating a seamless flight search experience for customers. Scenario 4. Create use case on Add coverage for insurance policy admin system. Description. The Add coverage use case outlines the steps involved in adding coverage to an insurance policy within an insurance policy admin system. This use case focuses on the interaction between the insurance policy administrator and the system during the coverage addition process. Let's explore the details of this use case. Possible actors for this use case. Policy administrator, the user who interacts with the insurance policy admin system to add coverage to an insurance policy. Insurance policy admin system, the system responsible for managing insurance policies and their associated coverages. Preconditions for this use case. The policy administrator must have access to the insurance policy admin system's coverage management functionality. The policy administrator must have the necessary permissions and authority to modify policy coverages. Let's look at basic flow for this use case. The policy administrator selects the insurance policy to which coverage needs to be added within the insurance policy admin system. The insurance policy admin system retrieves the policy details and presents the policy administrator with the policy information, including existing coverages. The policy administrator chooses the Add Coverage option for the selected policy. The insurance policy admin system presents a list of available coverage options to the policy administrator, including details such as coverage type, limits, and premiums. The policy administrator selects the desired coverage from the available options. The insurance policy admin system validates the selected coverage, ensuring it is compatible with the policy and other existing coverages. If the selected coverage is valid, the system adds the coverage to the policy and updates the policy details accordingly. The insurance policy admin system displays a confirmation message to the policy administrator, confirming the successful addition of the coverage. The policy administrator can review the updated policy details, including the newly added coverage. The use case concludes. Alternative flows for this use case. If the selected coverage is not compatible with the policy or violates any business rules, the insurance policy admin system notifies the policy administrator and prevents the addition of the coverage. In case of any system errors or technical issues during the coverage addition process, the system should handle the error gracefully, displaying an appropriate error message to the policy administrator. Post conditions for this use case. The selected coverage is successfully added to the insurance policy within the insurance policy admin system. The policy details, including the coverage information, are updated and reflected accurately in the system. The policy administrator can view and manage the coverages for the insurance policy. including modifying or removing coverages if necessary. This detailed use case for the Add Coverage feature in an insurance policy admin system provides a comprehensive understanding of the steps involved in adding coverage to an insurance policy. It serves as a valuable reference for business analysts and development teams to ensure the accurate implementation of this critical functionality, facilitating efficient management of insurance policies and their associated coverages. This concludes our discussion on use case templates. By following a standardized use case template, business analysts ensure consistent documentation and facilitate effective communication with stakeholders, developers, and other team members involved in the project. Templates help streamline the analysis process, capture essential details, and serve as valuable artifacts throughout the project lifecycle. If you want us to add any other use cases scenario, or if you have any questions, please let us know in comments section. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos and gain knowledge.